The main consequence of Xi's consolidation of power in these top positions is that he's more likely to be able to advance his policy agenda further. And we know from the report that Xi gave to the Congress a week ago that his agenda is now much more focused on national security relative to economic development. It kind of really embraces strategic competition with the West, an idea of self-reliance and kind of state-led economic management that takes us even further away from the market-oriented reforms that people had previously hoped China was going to pursue.
And what sort of environment does that leave for maybe companies, foreign multinationals that operate in China? Would you say China is now more of a riskier place for investment?
Yes, China is riskier. I think this outcome does increase political risk, but not of the sort actually that even we saw last summer, like with that kind of overnight blow up of the online tutoring sector. That still, to me, seems like an outlier in terms of how policy is implemented. So the operating environment is still going to be profitable for many foreign firms and many foreign investors. But at the margins, politics is going to continue to advance as the priority of this government relative to growth and to opening. There was some significant language on opening that was in the last Congress report that isn't in this report. So it's not like they're going to close the economy, but the priority is even more clearly on developing domestic competitors and on growing China's ability to rely on itself rather than others to advance economic growth.
Right, but isn't good economics good politics? Why do we have this narrative that the economy now plays second fiddle to politics?
So the economy and development is still important, but what Xi's trying to do is to shift the focus of the Chinese system from the pace of growth to the quality of growth. And that involves the kind of series of difficult reforms to these entrenched bureaucracies and growth models, like the property addiction that China has that involve unbalancing a whole lot of people who have a lot of money at stake in the existing system. So in Xi's view, he needs this power to be able to keep advancing those difficult reforms. And so in some senses, Xi having this consolidation helps him do more of what he wants. But if we look at the overall net effect of the policies he's been pursuing of late, zero COVID is one big example. It seems like that may help him go further and deeper in the wrong direction.
Neil, how should the West respond to a maximum Xi regime now in China? Should we expect radical changes when it comes to U.S.-China tensions? Is Taiwan more at risk than ever? What's your take?
I don't think we should expect radical changes. A lot of what was in the Congress report, it's an important confirmation and consolidation of trends that we have seen developing over the last few years in China. So when it comes to China's assertive so-called wolf warrior diplomacy, we've seen that emerging as a theme for many years now. So that's likely to continue and to continue to intensify as Xi looks to protect what he sees as China's core interests and to push back against what he sees as American-led efforts to curb China's rise. So not a radical change, but the situation is far likely to get worse before it gets better. On Taiwan, there was some new language about it being an issue for the Chinese themselves to resolve, which suggests that the increasing efforts by the United States and some other Western countries and Japan to support the government in Taipei are going to be met with increasing pushback from Beijing. But the language on China's policy, which is still focused on peaceful unification, that didn't really change. So it's still this long-term goal, and I didn't see anything emerging from the Congress that changes my view that a near-term proactive invasion is very unlikely.